getting the rest of the stuff set up here. Puppy dogs are fussing just a little bit, because the weather is rolling in yet again. Because what we really needed was like day number 8 of rain. What we need is to send that rain out west, help with some of those fires. Sorry. Let me let them get settled down here, and then we'll start our roulettes. So I'm going to start with my scholar, which, as I've mentioned, is my favorite. I am just a huge fan. I love the scholar. It's the best, in my opinion. Obviously, everyone has their own opinion, and there are some people that don't like it at all. But since she's my highest level, I like to start with her because I can do the expert roulettes and the level 70 dungeons. And I really need the rewards you get from those. And last time I played, I told you I almost had enough to buy an apartment. I needed 500,000, and I had like 494,000, something like that. Don't remember exactly, so forgive me if that's not the right number. And then I spent some of that money to buy a piece of gear to do a mission that I wasn't geared well enough to do. So now I need like 43,000 instead of the 6,000 I originally needed. This is saying that it's actually going to be a pretty long wait. I'm going to try and switch it to level 70 dungeons instead of expert and see what it says then. Here we go. Less than 5 minutes. That sounds better. Better than 12, for sure. I don't have a real good way to tell what I sound like when I'm talking. All I can do is watch the videos and see how it sounded afterwards. So if you're ever watching and you're like, man, that's just too loud or too quiet or whatever, I am okay with constructive criticism. Now, if you're just a butthead, I'll ignore you, but I'll take constructive criticism. Sorry, I tend to do this when I'm waiting. I'm just like running around aimlessly, waiting for the dungeon to pop. It's really pretty pointless, although I could check in at Ulda because I have like my own little squad there that I've been leveling up, and you can actually do dungeons with them, and they're all NPCs, and that's a newer feature. They didn't have that when I played before. I don't know how long it's been part of the game altogether, but it's kind of cool. You can't do all the dungeons by any means. It's a pretty limited selection, but there are some you can do, and Sometimes I like to use them to level up my DPS, because then you don't have to wait for other players to join you. You can just go in with your own little squad. And I can come to the regiment board here and tell them what kind of training I want them to do, and it shows me their levels and if the training that I'm giving them is going to increase their level or not. They get points for it, but you know, you're not going to gain a whole level every time you train. It'll take several, but these are my guys. Kumokiri, Sasashu, Loea, something like that. I don't know. Totodi, Belen, Anatomy, Sicily, and Gnawing Goat. I got him as one of my squadron members just because his name was so ridiculous. Gnawing Goat. I don't know, it was funny. So they're all doing their thing now. I've got some of them doing sit-ups and some of them studying. These guys are taking notes. If you can see, she's over there talking and then she'll hold her ear, and that's the characters have earpieces that they receive instructions through, so she's relaying the instructions to her comrades. It sounded kind of windy in my earpieces all of a sudden. I was trying to figure out if that came from the game somehow or what. I don't know. Don't know what caused it. We're number 1 on the waiting list. It has been more than 5 minutes, but we have made our way to the top of the waiting list. Hopefully it won't be a whole lot longer. Healers tend to be in relatively high demand. I thought maybe they had part of the event here, because that's what this is. It's part of the Moonfire event, or Moon Fair, maybe. But the event is over here in Costa del Sol. It's an obstacle course. I'll show you. Let's see if we can run a little faster. Got some fireworks going out there right now. She glitched out for a second. I don't know if those fireworks are a continual thing, or if something triggered them at a certain time of day. Because I think we hit midnight just a few minutes ago. Game time. There we go. Let's see what we got. It's a roulette, so I don't know. I know it's level 70, but that's about it. I don't recognize it yet. Temple of the Fist. And somebody in here is new, so we get extra bonuses. I like extra bonuses. Some corrals, and it's babies apparently. I haven't done this dungeon very much. It's not a very popular one. I hear a lot of people complain about it. Honestly, there isn't a dungeon in Final Fantasy that I don't like. There are some I enjoy more than others, but I'm not sure if the tank realized that after the wall broke, it turned into a bunch of little monsters. It might be the tank that's new, because this is way too much stuff to have at once. I just now realized that one of these characters named, well, one of the people named their character Hysterectomy. That's different. I can't say I've ever seen someone named after a medical procedure before. Definitely a new one on me. We'll see if they notice that the wall, splits into extra enemies this time. Maybe we can keep from killing anybody. At least anybody in our team. Let's sneak in here and cast an area attack. I have to be careful. Being a healer, I can't really take any hits safely. And I have tried to sneak in before and like got there just in time to get smacked really hard by one of the things we were fighting. It killed me in one hit. And if I die, it's a problem, because then I can't heal the tank or the other characters, and they can't revive me, usually. So, you have to just go back to the beginning of the dungeon and run as fast as you can. And hope no one dies before you get back to them. We've almost got him. Now we can focus on just this one, which is always helpful. And we can concentrate our efforts. So I've tried on 3 separate days to do some more of the train mission that you guys saw me do. And I think we've cleared it once out of those 3 days. It has not been going well. I'm not giving up, though. I was a little nervous when I saw the group that he'd gathered up here, but it's not going too bad. We got it this time. Big old stone statues. Kind of made me think of Knack. They don't look anything like Knack, but I should not be yawning today. I think I was awake for fewer hours yesterday than most people sleep. I was up for maybe 7 hours. That was about it. So there is no reason for me to be yawning. I will probably be eating my lunch while playing, though. I've got lunch sitting here next to me, because since I slept most of the day, I didn't get around to eating anything. So I've been hungry. Still eat like a little kid, though. I have peanut butter and jelly and chocolate milk. That's my lunch today. And I am totally okay with that. It's not like, oh, we were in a pinch and there wasn't anything else to eat. Well, we've got good food in there, but this is what I wanted. It's one of the things I used to like about babysitting is, like, no one thinks it's odd for you to eat kids' food when you're, like, taking care of children, right? Because you just eat whatever you fix them. But there aren't any children here. So I've got a moon over my head, and I run into the moon slot, and if you have a sun, you run into the sun slot. Otherwise, you take a bunch of damage. And I don't know if you can tell, but he'll stand still for a second and start charging up. And he does two. Here he goes. He's charging now. Well, he's doing a different move, though. But he does those outward slashes, so you have to make sure that you don't stand to the side of him. That'll do some pretty good damage. Like that. Oh. And it's not just the damage, he also applies status effects, which I can't remove. This time there's a sun, and there's fewer spots to stand on. Everybody was sun. There we go. We got him. There's been some healer gear that I don't have, but I really don't have room to be collecting anything right now. And it's a lower level than what I'm wearing, so... Okay, in this room, it releases fireballs. And, a lot of times what I'll do is try and get in between the fireball and the tank, because I can trigger it to explode before it gets there. But it doesn't seem... It didn't do a very good job there. Wasn't working. And I don't mean it wasn't working as in I blame the game. I just couldn't seem to get it to explode. The way I intended to. It's kind of pushing it with this group. I don't think we're going to survive it, honestly. We might. We're recovering. I don't have any more emergency heals, so we'll see. He's gonna have to do some fancy footwork. Stay out of there. Worst hits. We made it. Definitely surprised me. Okay, so usually there's a cutscene there, but mine skips automatically. And we're down to the final boss. You can see some pretty cool statues in the back. Let's get out of there. Okay, we do not want to get hit with those. I'm gonna come over here to the center. Sometimes they will come from more than one direction, and so we've got to kind of keep an eye around the... Gotta get as far away as possible. And now all stacked together. I think think we're supposed to call it eat these. Not actually eating them, just running into them. We're doing pretty alright. Oh, see, this time they're coming from two sides of the arena. And we got the bomb all at once. I don't want to be standing in front of them. And there he goes. Can't type. Don't really need anything. That was the level 70 dungeon. We will see what the waiting list is for expert now. It's still really long, then I'll switch to my white mage and 9 minutes. It's better, but still don't really want to wait that long, so. I've actually almost got her leveled up. We'll do trials, because that's usually a pretty short one. Yeah. So this is the event place. There's not usually all these people here. And I ran out of time to show you already. See what we got. Cape Westwind. This is actually part of the main story. It's not a hard fight at all. Like, this will probably be over in another 30 seconds. We just kind of ignore the other people showing up. Keep attacking the boss here. was all I needed for my level. And see if it tells us how long it took. Oh, it's like 1 minute and 3-4 seconds. Definitely the faster one. This is part of the new event. You talk to this person who gives you a quest, and the quest is that you go through each part of the obstacle course. And you can see it ends over there at the tower. Now you don't have to make it to the top of the tower, you have to make it to where the bridge is sticking out the side. I'm going to go ahead and sign up for the next fight, and then I'll work my way through the obstacle course. Sorry, trying to decide. So this is part 1. And then you can decide which way you want to go. And I'm going to go this way. And when you first accept the quest, they actually have someone here so that you can be like, and I made it! And that's your checkpoint, so that you don't have to do the first part again. This is another one of the early dungeons. It's actually turned off a whole bunch of my moves, because they're not moves you would have learned yet for this level. Took me all the way down to level 18 or 19. I can't quite read it. They actually make a t-shirt that I want to get, because I thought it would be funny to wear while playing my healer, because sometimes the tank will get nervous if you let their health get low, but I know how low I can let their health get before I need to heal them. So I want to get this shirt and it says, "But did you die?" It's like $2 on Wish. Plus shipping, but you know, still pretty cheap. I forgot that since I leveled up, I might be able to equip some better equipment. Sure enough. Gained 6 item levels. Can help me do my job a little better. Well, hubby and I have been watching this documentary on Netflix. It's really cool. It's about unknown science. And they take scientists, it's 9 scientists all from different areas of science, and the first one flies to visit the second one, and they talk about what it is they do, and then the second one flies to visit the third one, and they talk, and third to fourth until you get to 9, and then 9 goes to visit the first one. And they end up going all the way around the globe. But they study things like dark matter and consciousness. Like, what does it mean to be conscious? And how do you measure that in someone? It's really cool. Netflix actually has a lot of really neat documentaries, and so does Amazon. Most of which, well, I say most of which, many of which you can watch for free with Amazon Prime. Which, by the way, if you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe to a Twitch streamer of your choice for free. Just one, but you can pick one and subscribe at the $5 level. And it's just part of the package that comes with Amazon Prime. Plus you get loot for various games. Some of them are PC only, some of them are on the PlayStation. I'm guessing that some of it's for the Xbox, but I don't actually know because I don't own an Xbox and I've not paid that close of attention. I don't really game on the computer. I only play on the PS4. I don't have a computer that could handle gaming yet. Maybe someday. That is not in my near future. I don't know what it is about streaming that brings all these yawns out. I think it's kind of like singing, like talking to you guys using oxygen. exercising my lung capacity. I always used to yawn a lot in choir. And choir was one of my favorite extracurricular activities. So I was thinking about doing a stream every once in a while that was more of like a Q&A, kind of let you get to know me, let me get to know you. So if there is anything that you have ideas of things that you'd like to talk about or like to know, if you just send me a message on Twitch or on Facebook. I go by the same name on both, so not too hard to find. I thought that could be fun. I'd like to get to know you guys, and I saw a post on Facebook the other day that was just kind of asking, you know, what people like to play, and what got them into streaming, and what were some other things they like to do, and it was neat to read everybody's answers, and I think it could be fun to get to know you guys, so maybe every once in a while on a weekend we can just do a Q&A kind of stream. Gaming is mostly what I do in my spare time. There's just so much you can do and be. But I also like to paint and make jewelry and all kinds of other stuff. I say in my spare time, like there's as if there's actually times of day that are not spare time. All my time is spare time. getting close to making it through the dungeon. Kind of wish that I was my scholar on this one, because it would go a little bit faster. I can do more damage with my scholar at this level, but we're not making bad time. We're about to get our 3rd orb out of 4. I haven't even really checked everybody's names to see if anyone has some odd names. Doesn't look like it. A lot of people have character names after anime characters, but I don't know a whole lot of animes, so I often miss the reference. There are a few I know and really enjoy. I like Full Metal Alchemist. They actually have 2 different anime versions and a live action. The live action isn't bad. I didn't enjoy it as much as the animated version, but it's not bad. It's worth checking out. Rurouni Kenshin is really good. I highly recommend it. And they actually have a live action of that as well, and it's the best live action version of an anime I've ever seen. It really is amazing. The fight choreography is very impressive, and it's just done in a really good way. It's just a good movie. Or I guess it's a trilogy, so good 3 movies. Definitely worth checking out if you are into animes or just good movies. Asian fighting movies. If you like Ip Man. One of my favorite animes that isn't one that is like most of the animes I watch. It's because my husband grew up watching them, and they're ones that he loved, and I've enjoyed almost every single one he's introduced me to. But they have one called Your Lie in April, and it's definitely one of my favorites. Part of that's because I am a musician, and it's about musicians, and I find the music to be very moving, but the story itself is really good. The title didn't make sense to me, but they kind of pull it all together there at the end, and you understand why it's called what it's called, and it's definitely a twist. It's the only anime I have watched all the way through repeatedly. And that was it. I don't know why they were asking for protect, because everybody still had it, and it said that there was like 12 minutes left, but maybe they just wanted to be able to carry that over. Guild Hests are also really short. They're kind of training missions almost. It's like these are different types of situations that you will probably encounter at some point in the dungeons as you progress your character. So they don't usually take very long. Run over here and start the second part of the obstacle course. As you can see, this part's a little tougher. Now, it is easiest to go this way, in my opinion. I've gone both ways. I definitely prefer this way. So as you can see, there's a little bit of forgiveness in movements. Ah! You get the idea. I don't have to make the checkpoints because I've done it already. And the only thing you get for repeating it is little handheld fireworks. But I have way too many of those. I do not need any more. See, now this one you have to walk out to the edge there, like that guy. Ah! I am number 1 on the waiting list, and it estimates less than 5 minutes, so it will probably be ready before I finish climbing up here. Someone said they hated themselves. And they said it in say, which is a very limited range, so they had to be somewhere nearby. So this is not easy. The fight is gonna be 1,000 times easier than climbing this wall. I find it a little bit easier with my other controller. The sensitivity is a little bit different, but I'm not any good at it with either controller. It's not quite as bad with the other one. This mission is always a little bit tough just because everything in here poisons or makes it where you can't speak or freezes you in place or something. Our tank's name is Bad Soul. So we're almost to the boss already, which is pretty normal for a guild test. And usually, being a healer, I stand pretty far away, but on this one, I was told I really needed to hug the tank, so that's what I'm gonna do. I may be hugging too close. Getting attacked so much I can't heal. Can't heal myself and can't heal anyone else. Now, hopefully we will have taken out enough enemies that it won't be quite so bad this time. We'll see what happens. Tank almost ran off without getting his shield. What I'm doing here, running around the group with them chasing me, is called kiting. Basically doing my best to stay enough out of range that, I mean, I'm going to get hit, but not as much. They spend most of their time chasing. The hard thing is I can't move and heal at the same time. It won't let me. But, still seemed to go better that time. I'm actually surprised that I got 2 commendations there, because, generally speaking, if everyone dies, it's, either the tank's fault or the healer's fault. And I was not blameless there, by any means. Okay. This is one of the 24-man fights. I am not going to make you sit through a main story quest yet. I think it could possibly be more fun for you than for me. Main story quests, you cannot skip the cutscenes, and there is usually quite a few of them. So it is neat that it tells a part of the story, but when you do your missions every day, you do the main story quest roulette, and a lot of times it's one of the same 2 missions. So many of us have seen the same cutscenes many times. What I enjoy most about that is I get to see everybody's character, because it actually puts your character in the scene, in whatever outfit that you have currently chosen. That's pretty cool. So I like looking at everybody. Seeing what they're wearing. And how they designed their character. Oh, and look, we are back up to $490,000, or gil. It's the game currency. So I am back to being close to able to buy an apartment. This raid is called Labyrinth of the Ancients. So the first time, like, when we start the raid, we went down the hall and then went left. Here in a few minutes, we'll actually end up back at the beginning, but we'll go right instead of left. And once we've killed all the monsters in both directions, a platform will raise, allowing us to go straight or lower. I don't remember, but we'll go straight instead of left and right. In the first two rooms, we kind of struggled a bit. We had 2 deaths in the first room, 1 death in the second room. But this one, we're doing pretty alright. This one can be hard to heal through. We have to get these little ads that pop up. If they run to the dragon, they cause damage to everybody. And sometimes, we really don't get enough of them. And it can really hurt. And now we will teleport back to the beginning. And go the other way. My husband and I played this game when it very first came out. And this one was really hard because no one knew how any of it worked yet. But there are 3 teams, A, B, and C. A goes to the left, B comes to the middle, C goes to the right. And see, everyone has these colored platforms. It takes 4 people on a platform to light it up. And once you have 4 people on that platform, it drops the shield for the matching color monster. So, drop the shield for C, C drops the shield for A, and A drops it for us. Everybody has to be on their platform for the other teams to be able to kill their monster. Apparently, some of the team members don't really know how it works. But that's okay. It's getting there. We got it. No worries. Sometimes if there's some confusion, then, well, we all die and we have to start over. So it was good that they were reading and made the adjustments that needed to be made. Sometimes when you get in the middle of a fight, you don't really read chat. You're too busy trying to make sure you don't die. In this fight, he turns one team invisible. See, they've got their names floating around, but they're kind of see-through. Only that team can do any damage on the boss. what we can do is attack these other things. And we have to protect the magic pot. We all get a turn at being invisible. See? There I am. And now we teleport to the beginning again. Someone's using their fireworks that you get in the obstacle course. I didn't actually know that you could use those in a dungeon. I know you can't use them during a fight, but apparently you can use them in between fights. People like to stand around in the line. It does do a fair amount of damage, but they just think it's funny or fun. Suppose it could be. Each team has to grab their own big old fella and take them to a different part of the map. If they get too close to each other, then we can't hurt them very well. So gotta kind of keep them apart. And now we all kill the bomb. So everybody's got their big guy down. I think the next fight, yeah. The next fight is the behemoth. And I always think that it's the last one. We'll fight the behemoth and I'll be like, good job guys, like, we did it. But this is not the last fight. There's one more after this. But this one's harder than the last one. So, see those green marks? There's going to be a boulder drop there, and then King Behemoth is going to power up, and then do a huge explosion. And if you're not behind the boulders, you will die. Like that guy. But that iron giant that's swinging his huge sword all around, he will damage the boulders and kill you while you're standing behind them. It's not an easy fight. Trying to raise Princess Mononoke, but haven't really had time. I don't actually need that, but I don't know what it looks like, and the stuff from these fights tends to be kind of fancy. And it might be cool, so I'm gonna try and get it. Just make my character look cool. So this is what she looks like at the moment. So this one is pretty easy. You just have to you have to know when to run. Don't stand on the red marks. Alright, it says Ancient Flare. We all have to run and stand on these little pads, and it brings up that shield. If you stand out there, you die. There's no getting around it. And here we go again. Now, we didn't have enough people where they were supposed to be, so the shield didn't go up. We have one person that just is deciding not to get up. there she goes. Alright. Oh, we need to be on our shields. I think I actually had it this time, but I didn't feel like taking chances, so I yelled at people in chat. Now, I would not have been upset if we died again, but like anyone else, I prefer to stay alive. That's actually pretty cool too. Okay. Really comfortable headphones. They feel uncomfortable today because I've had 2 ear piercings for a long time, but I had let the top ones grow shut, not on purpose, just I hadn't used them. And they give me trouble if I don't keep an earring in them. So I had to re-pierce them, and one of them was actually very, very sealed shut. So now they're all sensitive as if it's the very first time I had them pierced. I should check my gear. It's not bad. We'll keep going. I will show you a main scenario quest, and then I will probably be about ready to call it a day. Sometimes we get some pretty funny groups. Sometimes you get people that don't want to be there, and so they're just kind of grouchy or they don't talk at all. But then sometimes you get just some real fun people that they all get to talking during the cutscenes, and sometimes they drool over some of the characters. It can be pretty entertaining. And it says the wait time is less than 5 minutes. We'll see. See if I can ever land on this balance beam. Amity says that she's going to kill something soon. Trying to get up here. I swear they made it harder since, day one. Because I did this on the, first day it came out, and it didn't seem this hard. And all the way down. Here we go. Let's see what we got. This is one of those two that I was telling you about. Ooh, it's the Praetorium. This is the long one. What's funny is most of this is done in text. But then you get halfway through and all of a sudden everyone starts talking. This is where we usually sacrifice someone. All those guys that were attacking, they've got to attack somebody. And you can't teleport while you're being attacked, so they usually end up killing someone. when the game first came out, everybody fought all of these. Now there's so many people that have completed it, they get kind of antsy to just get in here and get out. It already takes a while with the cutscenes. So we just kind of skip fighting as many people as possible. And that big flash of light is me. It's my favorite move of the game. It's called Holy. Now he's going to talk a bunch. I can actually take a second to grab a snack. So Sid, the guy with the white hair, is who a lot of the girls go crazy over. I think he's one of the better looking characters in the game. But he is like a cartoon, so. We get to fight now, but it'll be a short-lived fight. Now we stand around some. They are going to start talking soon. Everyone suddenly finds their voice. I'm typing ahead of time, no, but... We're about to all get to ride our very own Magitech. What are you fussing at? Now we all have our own armor. We can, shoot with it. really enjoy the music just all throughout the game, but especially in some of these bigger missions. We're almost there. I'm always kind of bummed that you don't get to see everyone in some of these. It's just like all of a sudden you're the only person that's in the room. Now, I did think they were going to start talking a little bit earlier, because I forgot about this part. Because, they gain their voices on the elevator. But, it wasn't that elevator, it's an elevator that we haven't ridden. There's quite a few of them. That girl in white, I like her outfit. Like, I would wear that in real life. And jean shorts and the top with the embroidery on it. A cute summer outfit. Taking a peek at the weather real quick. We actually had some pretty severe weather last night / today. Yesterday. Not today. There were tornadoes. And that's really unusual for this time of year. Someone actually took a picture of one of the tornadoes that was just about 15 miles from where we live. I know it's corny, but trying to see if I can get some people engaged in chat. You used to be able to skip these cutscenes, but what was happening is people that have done it before were coming in and they were skipping all the cutscenes and doing all the fights. And so new people, they wanted to watch the story because they've been following the story all through the game. But by the time they'd get done with the cutscene, fight would be over. So they changed the way the main story quests are done so that you couldn't leave behind the new people, which I think is cool. And to help make it worthwhile for the people that have been around longer, they increased the payout if you joined in roulette instead of like selected it on your duty finder. You actually get higher rewards than you used to. It's like 150%, which is cool. So, in chat, when it's bright blue or sky blue, that's people in here in this fight with me. And then the white is the free company I'm in.
Tell me, for whom do you fight? How very glib. And do you believe in Eorzea? Eorzea's unity is forged of falsehoods. Its city-states are built on deceit, and its faith is an instrument of deception. It is not but a cobweb of lies. To believe in Eorzea is to believe in nothing. In Eorzea, the beast tribes often summon gods to fight in their stead, though your comrades only rarely respond in kind. Which is strange, is it not? Are the 12 otherwise engaged? I was given to understand they were your protectors. If you truly believe them your guardians, why do you not repeat the trick that served you so well at Cartano and call them down? They will answer, so long as you lavish them with crystals and gorge them on ether. Your gods are no different from those.
During the time I could skip these, I used to record them, but I would let him talk, but only part of it, and then I would skip the rest. But you can skip like half of his dialogue and it still flows together.
What drives even men of learning, even the great Louis Swan, to grovel at their feet? The answer? Your masters lack the strength to do otherwise. For the world of man to mean anything, man must own the world. To this end, he hath fought ever to raise himself through conflict, to grow rich through conquest. And when the dust of battle settles, it is ever the strong who dictate the fate of the weak. Knowing this, but a single path is open to the infinite ruler, that of false worship, a path which leads to innovation and death. Only a man of power can rightly steer the course of civilization, and in this land of creeping mendacity, that one truth will prove its salvation. Come, champion of Eorzea, face me. Your defeat shall serve as proof of my readiness to rule. It is only right that I should take your realm, for none among you has the power to stop me.
I'm not sure how well you can see chat. But when you design your character, you actually get to choose the voice for them. But they never speak, ever, during the game. They do make sound, like you can make them jump up and down with excitement, and they'll be like, woo-hoo! Or you can tell them to be angry, and they'll make a mad sound, and when they fight, sometimes they make noise, but they never speak. But like, they get some grief for that, but what bugs me is that sometimes when you're doing a mission, it'll trigger a cutscene, and they will like hand you a package, but in the cutscene nothing's there. They just hold out their hand, and you hold out your hand, and they're like, "Here you go," and you're like, "Thanks." There's nothing there. It's like you designed a whole scene around this invisible package. It makes no sense to me. I've always just found that funny. We've only got like 3 more fights. And then we'll be through with this mission. It's actually pretty close to being on time for the stream. If you can see Reaper's comment, he says he's Reaper, the comic relief. He's like Deadpool of the FC. Which is pretty accurate. Pretty accurate. State's in trouble. Fortunately for me, you're a little less vulgar than Deadpool. I'd say you match him in comic relief for sure. He can be nice to people, but he's always pretty vulgar. We can't actually hurt this thing right now. I was referring to Deadpool being nice to some people, but always pretty vulgar. You are nice and gentlemanlike to some people. I keep trying to change my my attack bar to do other moves, but that's for my scholar, not my white mage. This is really the only useful moves I have for my white mage. It's on this one bar. Put your right foot in, put your right foot out. This mission used to be so scary. And now a lot of times you get tanks that are like, just so you know, I'm not dodging anything. 'Cause I don't have to. Just heal me once in a while, please.
But the ultimate weapon is all-powerful. Why does my enemy still stand? Can her strength truly be so great?
It is the blessing of light that confounds you.
So besides Sid, this is the other character that some of the girls
Under the protection of
go
the
crazy for.
bears.
So, this is what empowers her.
It can be funny if you get
Beyond mortal limits.
a girl group in here
If you are
between
to
the two of
prevail,
them.
the hammer of darkness must needs be brought to bear upon the shield of light. And so it shall, for the ultimate weapon is host to a power of which you are as yet ignorant.
Honestly, you would just about think that we all came to, like, watch Magic Mike or something with the way the
The
conversation
heart of Saturn.
can get.
It is the weapon's core, an enigma whose surface even the vaunted scholars of ancient
Just makes me shake my head.
scratch. The magic within has lain dormant for eons.
Of what magic do you speak?
A spell without parallel.
Ultima.
I sought the life force of the primals for no other
My
reason.
bangs are driving me crazy. They won't stay where I
The
put them.
true power of the ultimate weapon lies within its now beating heart.
What have you done?
I used to have really long hair, like
No more
down to my waist long hair.
for my
And then I
God.
cut it into like a pixie cut. And it was shaved on the sides. And I'm trying to grow it back out, and then I'll shave it underneath where you can't really see it.
Sliver of my God's
But it's at this weird place right now where it doesn't do anything I want it to do. It just gets in the way.
From the deepest pit of the seven hells to the very pinnacle of the heavens, the world shall tremble. Unleash Ultima!
Dun dun dun.
Such devastation! This was not my intention!
Oh, Heidelin, it seems the
This
task of keeping
used to be
your
so
champion
scary.
alive has exhausted what
Sometimes
strength you had
you'd
left.
get stuck here so long that you'd run out of time.
Van Belsar,
Like all of the
your enemy's shield is broken.
you get like
The rest
2 hours or something to do this mission.
We will speak
But
later.
people would be so weak that they couldn't kill this boss,
But first,
and we would die
must deal with
just
you.
over and over again until we ran out of time, and then you would have to start the whole thing over from the very beginning. It was scary to face this fight. It is not scary anymore, but it is still just cool. I like this ultima weapon. I think it looks neat. And the environment and the choral music in the background. It's a lot of fun. And here it is. Does get to be a bit of a crazy dance with all these lasers going across the screen. But they can't really one-hit kill you like they used to could. See, he's already over halfway. To being dead. Can't put proper sentence structure together and stay alive at the same time. And that was it. It's not the end. We still have more thing to fight, but it takes about that long. So, not a big deal.
Heed me. The subjects of a weak ruler must needs look to a higher power for providence, and their dependence comes at a cost to the realm. The misguided elevate the frail, and the frail lead the people astray. Unless a man of power wrests control, the cycle will never be broken. You of all people must see the truth in this. You who have the strength to rule.
This guy just has so much to say. Of course, I like to talk too, so can't judge too harshly.
Pathetic. You boasted of unrivaled power. You were entrusted with the ultimate weapon. The ultimate magic. And still, you failed. So much for the glory of man. The growing imbalance afflicting the planet must be redressed. If it is permitted to worsen, the very laws of existence, both etheric and physical, will be warped beyond all recognition. Know you the root of this corruption? Hydaelyn. like a parasite. She must be burned out if the planet is to recover. And naught but the return of the one true god will ensure her complete excision. Yet, to pave the way for the Master's return, a chaotic confluence of untold proportions must needs be brought about, and that will necessitate the presence of the primals. Needless to say, both you and your scion accomplices cannot be suffered to interfere in this endeavor. You will not leave this place alive.
Oh no, he has a glowy mask. It's terrifying. As soon as we beat him up, the mission will be over. And that will pretty much end my streaming for today. Tomorrow, I'm going to stream Nier Automata again. I'll be continuing the story. If you remember, we just met the twins. Very angry twins, and then reported back to camp. So we'll be seeing what happens next. Let's see. Wednesday, we will stream some more Final Fantasy. Thinking about starting a new class to kind of show you what it's like. It's kind of hard to explain what you're doing, like once you've already leveled up so much that there's just so much stuff going on. Let's kind of start at the beginning, go through a few things just so you can see. And then Thursday will be Tomb Raider. And I finally figured out the mature content filter, which is good because I think we're getting to one of the creepier parts before too long. And I don't want anyone to accidentally see what that entails. But Tomb Raider is fun, good story. It's based on the same story as the movie, but done totally differently and so much better. So definitely join me for that if you're not particularly squeamish. I closed my eyes for part of it and I'm playing, but it's good. So, every day at noon, except on the weekends. Catch you later.